Entering the Mayo experience.
Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by DraftKings. Today we're going back into the well of CUST Corner. It's now time for CUST Corner 38. Reminder to everyone out there to smash the like button of the episode. In the comment section, tell me who you would like to see as the third on the show, along with CUST and I, because we have a very special guest today joining us for the first time on CUST Corner. And hit the description, go to the CUST Corner podcast platform of your choice. Could be Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, wherever you listen to your podcast. Subscribe to the CUST Corner exclusive feed, and if it's on Apple, rate and review. Same as Spotify, rate and review. Pump that up, because it is time to bring him in for another edition of CUST Corner.
Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. He's got the hottest takes with the highest stakes. He should be president of the United States, but it's Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner,
Nobody is calling it that anymore. And I don't know why you continue to use that name.
I mean, you always talk about great SEO. This is great SEO. We have not done a new CUST Corner since the end of football season. We did the Custies, and we did the Custies preview show with our celebrity panel. And one member of that stuck out so much, he had to come and join us. So as a belated birthday gift, after years of hounding me, Kenny Kim, welcome to the show.
Hey, I've definitely been looking forward to this. I've been hounding Pat for years. Finally, it's happened. I have to admit, I've been on, radio shows, other podcasts, stuff like that. Never felt nervous. Today, a little bit nervous being on the show. And so, whenever you got to calm the nerves, you get yourself a cocktail. It's midweek. I don't drink midweek anymore, but I took exception just so I could calm the nerves and be on this show. So, Pat, Tim, thanks for having me on.
No problem. Here's the problem with this. That looks delicious, by the way.
It is.
This is the same issue that I had when Cam was on the show. Now, many people will say that CUST Corner is just Pat and Jeff ganging up on Tim, Pat and Gary and ganging up on Tim. But when Cam's on the show, he tends to agree with CUST. And here's the thing, Kenny. You and CUST share some very similar views on things.
We do. And, the thing is, I would remember more of them. But, half the issue is my lifestyle. I've lost half the brain cells in my head. I just had a mild stroke. That didn't help. So my memory is definitely shot. I've been trying to remember stuff that I remember that I agree with Tim with. And there's a lot. Trust me. When that CUST Corner own channel came out, I binge listened to it. It was the only thing I listened to for 3 months whenever I was in my car. And so I binged them all, and I loved them all. And I'd say 40% of the takes, I was on Team Cust. Now,
Thank you.
Recently, it's been a little bit less. I'll let you know about that. In the beginning episodes, there was a lot more I agreed on. Recently, there's been some disagreements, but we'll see how it goes today.
So, Tim, usually we start this off with you in doing this. Everyone out there should sub to Mayo Media Network and smash the like button to the episode, by the way, and rate and review the Pat Mayo Experience along with CUST Corner on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. But I have one that I want to start with because it's something that happened to you that we are never able to litigate on the show. You, sir, had moved over the past few months, and we haven't talked about it whatsoever. And there's a lot of stuff that we could get into. One was that you were just using broil on your oven. But can you take us through the process of getting this apartment and what you asked the people to do for you, step by step, please?
So when you mean the manager of the apartment, they had to show me how to use the appliances, that kind of stuff?
Correct. Please walk us through that.
So I hadn't been in a place like this. So I needed them to go step by step to show me how to work things. For example, I had no idea how the microwave worked, no idea how the fridge worked, no idea how the freezer worked, no idea how the stove worked. So they showed me all that, the washer and the dryer. They were showing me this thing called a lint trap, where the thing is you take the lint trap out because the air has to pass through the grate and it gets too blocked up.
Wait. You've never taken the lint out of a lint trap before?
I've never had to do my own laundry before.
Okay.
doing my own laundry.
Tim too rich.
So I'm doing my own laundry. So you take this lint trap, you take all this lint that collects so that the fresh air gets in and out of the dryer, right? So they showed me that. They showed me how to use the fridge, which I had no idea. Like there's buttons that you push to turn the temperatures up and down, and you don't want to have stuff too close to the back because that'll like block the airflow. They had no idea that was a thing. I figured out how to use the oven temperatures. The microwave is impossible to figure out. It's one of these things where all I do is just push the add 30-second button over and over and over again to get where I need it. Like the other day, I was thawing something out for several minutes, so I just kept hitting add 30 seconds for like 15 times or something. Because it's just there's too many buttons. It's impossible. No one could figure out unless you had like a master's degree from MIT. You'd never figure out how to work that microwave.
I mean, don't you have a PhD?
Yeah, but not in that.
Okay.
not in rocket science.
Okay.
Not in rocket science, which is what you need for a microwave this day and age. My goodness. So yeah, they showed me how to use all these things, how to turn the taps on and off. Just make sure that they work correctly and that they seal right. Yeah, I learned a lot of stuff. It was very informative stuff. I took notes.
So Kenny, here's what I want to ask you. If you were the person who was being asked all these things as the property manager of this place, how would you react to this?
Okay, I get Tim's ideas about this. I mean, like, some of these stuff nowadays, it's so hard to figure out. The only thing is I feel like I would lose my man card. Sorry, Tim. Doing this, I just couldn't ask these questions. Now, if I was the person getting these questions asked to me, I would feel, I don't know how I would feel. I think it would just be like, what is this guy? Has this guy never lived away from in civilization before? Maybe could be the first question. Like, did I make a mistake letting this person move into my home? Because not knowing stuff like that is a little bit different. But I mean, you could take it different ways. I mean, like, before I moved away and did all that stuff, I didn't know any of that stuff. Granted, that was like 22 years ago when I was like,
no one does know how to do that
teens.
stuff. No one knows how to do that stuff unless they're taught over and over again. Like it actually takes some learning, and it's conscientious on my part to actually find out how everything works. And like, I feel no shame about it. I didn't feel like I was like turning in my masculinity by asking how the freezer worked. I don't feel bad about it at all.
But it's okay. That's the one that doesn't make any sense to me. Is there's clearly a dial on the fridge, and low would be the lowest temperature, high would be the coldest temperature. That's how
you would think that, but that's not right. There are buttons that you push apparently that go up and down. Now, I had the lady set the temperatures at certain things, so I never have to touch them because I'm too afraid that I might.
And now, wouldn't you think the up and down button arrow would control temperature? Wouldn't that be like the first thought in your mind?
I don't know.
Like that?
I don't know what temperature I want it at. I don't know if you want it really high, really low. I just want it set standard. I don't know these things. I don't want to know these things. Just figure it out for me, sort of thing. And so I took the notes and anyway, it's all working great, by the way. I haven't had any issues with the fridge or the freezer or the washer or the dryer or the dishwasher. Which is actually really easy to work too. There's all kinds of buttons. I have no idea how to use any of them. I just know how to push 3 separate buttons and the dishwasher goes. That's all I need to know.
I still can't. Hold on. I still can't figure out how you haven't learned how to use the microwave yet. When you were at my house, 2 months ago, and you told me about this, I pulled up the manual to the microwave on my phone to show you how to do this. Did you never think about Googling any of this stuff?
No, I don't. I don't Google this stuff. I'm not that type of person. I didn't grow up Googling things. I grew up looking up stuff in books and asking people questions. That's just who I am. I'm not some hipster millennial who's got to look up everything on the Google to figure out his problems. Like,
yeah,
I like to ask
so now you have no answer to your problems. You're just standing next to the microwave over and over, pressing plus 30 over and over and over.
It works. It works.
Look, here's the thing I would say. Like, okay, I used to be like you, Tim. Like, I hated new stuff, like new technology. I could never get in it. I wanted stuff like my own way, like the way I've done it for years and years. But what I realized as I transitioned into, modern world is that, like, a lot of this technology stuff, when you learn it, it makes your life a lot easier. Like, I think you need to expand your mind a little bit when it comes to technology and different things in this time and age, like streaming and other technological advances. Amazon, God damn it, order something from Amazon. You know what I'm saying? Like these things make your life easier.
No, I don't
like,
order from Amazon.
No, here's the thing. I feel like me and you are in that same boat where we like to make our life easier. And you think doing the same thing that you've been doing for years and years and years makes your life easier. It does not. Because I can tell you this from firsthand experience, because I was just like you, hated technology, hated all this new stuff, didn't want to change anything. And in the minute that I did, like my life got easier. Like I didn't, there was more time for me. You need to think about this, Tim. I want you to get in this day and age of technology, because I used to be in your boat. Now my life is easier because I've learned to adapt to new things. What do you think?
I think in some cases you're right. In other cases that adaptation is unnecessary.
All right, give me an example of each, please.
Well, one example I would say is earpods. They're no better than the wired ones. I've had both. They're supposed to make my life easier having the AirPods over the wired ones. Not only do the wired ones look better, they are just as effective, if not more effective and more practical. The difference between them is so marginal that to say that it's like going to make my life better by accepting that Bluetooth technology, I disagree. I actually don't think there has been, as someone who's now done it, had them for 6 months and have given them the old college try and have used them pretty extensively, I can tell you that the difference between them is so marginal as to not validate their need.
Okay, so Kenny, let me get your take on wireless headphones, because wireless headphones are the greatest because they don't have a wire that you have to have in your pocket. Therefore, whenever you're listening to whatever it is, it could be a podcast, an audiobook, music, whatever it is, you don't have to have that device on you either. That can just be in a stationary position. You could be charging that the entire time as you freely walk around unencumbered with the earpods. And especially like someone like Tim to Jim, are you jacked, bro? Do you even lift? Like the gym is the ultimate place for the wireless headphones, because then you're not constantly getting weights caught on the cord.
And yet I disagree. I've used them for 6 months and I find there's just not much of a difference.
If you're not an active person, if you only use your headphones like sitting down at home in the office,
no.
Yes, I agree with you on that. But like for me, I work in construction. I work on job sites, and like those wires are dangerous. Sometimes they can be dangerous, and I need to have these on so I can make calls, take calls, do whatever, because I can't hear my phone all the time with all the noise going around in job site. So for a job purpose, it helps for me. Also, the look who wants to have a cord hanging down your front like a necklace.
There's lots of articles saying that actually like younger people think the wired earphones look a lot cooler, and that earpods actually look kind of dumb and kind of like old fogey-ish, and that wires are sort of hip and in. Believe it or not, like that's actually what people are saying.
Where did you read this?
I sent you that article.
I've seen that article. I saw that article.
Where was it from?
I have like some modern magazine. I can't remember which.
Sounds pretty credible, this source that you're citing.
Well, I'm just off the top of my head. I remember I sent it to you. You read it, and you had some sort of offhanded, snide remark. But I mean, I sent it to you. But anyway, you asked an example, and in my life, and look, the job you do, I can understand that. But for the life I lead and the things I do, I have found it to be marginal. And so there you have it.
Anyone that works out, which you do, except for you apparently, is even the one guy who was the holdout of our group of friends who liked the wired over the wireless. Once he got the wireless and started working out, what was he all about? Wireless headphones.
I'm not against wireless headphones. I have them and use them. I'm just telling you, I think it's 6 and 1/2 of the other.
I think that's a ludicrous take, Kenny.
I'm a fan of it. Ever since I've gotten them, I love them. They work well. Now I will say the AirPod Pro that I have now doesn't fit in my ear as nicely as the regular AirPods. That would be my one, first world problem complaint about it. But I deal with it. It's fine. I have no problem. I like them. You don't have the cord. The cord is so, I don't know the word where you can't. Yes, that's it. Yes.
I don't mind it. Doesn't bother me. Never does.
So you've never been running and caught the cord
Imagine being
with your
such
elbow.
a delicate millennial at the gym that you're so concerned that the wires are people have been lifting weights and doing things with wires since the Walkman came out in the 1980s for earphones. But those people certainly couldn't get an effective, safe workout in. It wasn't until we were blessed with the marvelous creation of the AirPods that people could really and truly
It's not
work out
safety.
with
It's
liberty.
convenience. It's convenience.
Like I just find the whole thing to be people insisting upon its utility when in this instance it doesn't make much of a difference. In the gym context, I don't see it at all. I think
I feel like
absolute
I
nonsense.
feel like you don't even wear the wire headphones to the gym, because I've been in many circumstances where I've hit my elbow running with it and boom, knocks everything out. Now I have to go stop. I have to go put my headphones back in. I'm lifting weights.
Well, some of us are coordinated.
Oh, really? You?
Some of us are coordinated. Sorry.
So
it doesn't happen to me.
So you've never knocked out the wire from your
Of
wire
course I
headphones?
have. Of course
Yeah,
I have.
and with
but it happens
wireless
very infrequently.
But with
it would happen
wireless
like 3
headphones,
times
this
a
never
year.
happens. And you can put your phone down next to you while you're working out. You don't need to have it in your pocket, which is nice. You're more free to go. Then you can go walk over to find the stuff to wipe down the equipment. You can go fill up your water.
What a hassle.
It's
What
much
a hardship.
It's much
What a
easier to do
hardship.
this way. You're talking about
Imagine.
trying to make your life easier, and this is making your life significantly easier.
I wish I could leave my phone more unattended so I can go walk away and do stuff. Yeah, okay. I mean, maybe that's a perk for you. It's not a perk for me.
I mean,
I want my phone next to me.
I like to use it to mark that I haven't left my bench yet. I put my phone on it. That way everyone knows that someone is using this. They'll be right back.
Oh, that's like you're tipping the stool at the slot machine to let people know that it's occupied. You're going to the washroom. You leave your phone on the bench.
Yeah, a little bit. That's exactly what I do.
I don't know. I sorry, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced,
Yeah.
and I've had 6 months of practice with it, and my initial intuitions were proven correct.
I've been a little quiet on the subject because I haven't seen the inside of a gym since I was like 16 years old.
No,
so
well,
I would not know.
Your
the- the
workspace
whole-
makes more sense. I get your workspace, right? Like that, I totally understand that. But in the métiers that Pat and I travel in, no, the wired versus unwired makes no practical difference.
Like another fun one to do the wireless headphones for. Like when I go golfing by myself, I just put my earbud. I put in my earphones, put my phone in my bag, because I don't like playing golf with a phone in my pocket.
I will never golf by myself. I have an unending fear that I'm going to make an ace.
Oh, but I mean, usually most golf clubs you go to and you play by yourself, usually teamed up with somebody
This
to
is
pair it
it.
up.
That's fine. I got no problem with that. But I'll never play
okay.
solo. Never, ever, ever. Because I know the first time I do, I will make a hole in one.
Tim,
That
I've
will
been
happen.
playing for like 35 years and I've never even seen a hole in one.
No, they're incredibly rare. That's why they shouldn't be happening at majors as often as they do. They're all flukes.
These guys are pros.
So what?
What do you mean,
There's a
so what? They're like the best top 0.01% of players in the world. Don't you think that like the top 0.01% of somebody will probably do something better than the rest? I mean, isn't that why they're the
But that's
top?
going from 0.01% chance to a 0.1% chance. And that's a big, and mathematically moving that decimal is a significant thing to move.
How often do you win that bet, Tim?
It's like 50-50.
It's not 50-50.
It's like 50-50.
You've made it at the Masters every year since I've known you. And
Yeah, I have to stop making it there because at 16 that green is constructed in such a way to compel the ball.
That left pin location,
Yeah.
you just
Yeah,
roll
on
it up
Sunday.
on the right and it comes
Yeah.
back down. It's going to be a hole in one.
I have to stop doing it at Augusta. But like in a couple of weeks at St. Andrews, there's only 2 par 3s, so it's very unlikely to happen.
Well, maybe someone can drive a par 4, hole in one on a par 4. You don't see it often.
DJ almost did it.
But I mean, if you want to hit it over the road hole, you can just put up a couple of uprights for football, and then they can hit it right through there, and then they'll know where it's going.
You see,
That was horrible.
That would be great for the viewers, apparently. At least according to NBC.
I screamed.
And you're calling me a delicate millennial.
I screamed. I was like, "This is
Oh,
the
my
United
golf!
States Open," and they're defacing
I
the
know.
United States Open with uprights.
The worst part about that was when you see it, the guy's missing the fairway. Like it goes straight up the uprights, and then it misses the fairway by like 12 feet.
Yeah.
That did not work out well for them.
So that was an example of something that you don't need to, according to you, that just it's useless. You don't need to adapt to that. What is something though that you can use in your life that you would agree that has made your life easier?
There's got to be all kinds of examples, and you can probably think of them more easily than I can.
Well, I mean, you're the one living your truth, so let's hear it.
Oh, well, I mean, having Bluetooth in my car has made my life better.
Well,
I'll say that.
Why couldn't you just wear headphones?
No, well, it's not just the headphones. It's the fact that I can switch between the radio and the podcast in a very quick click of a button. You don't have to wear any earphones or anything, or put anything in the cup holder to accentuate the sound. You get to hear it through the speakers in the car. Having Bluetooth in the car has definitely made things better and easier for me. So I'll say that.
Anything else you can think of?
I'm sure there are all kinds of other things, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Okay. So, cleaning out your lint trap, if you keep the lint in there, it'll catch on fire, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was told for safety reasons, and also to, for safety reasons, get it out. And it makes sense. You have the little tiny grates, and you want the air to be able to pass in and out, and if it doesn't, it'll heat up. I get that.
Is it an apartment or a townhome?
It's an apartment, but I clean that lint trap out every single time.
Because you would suck living in a townhome or a house, because you'd have to clean out the lint trap that goes out through the exhaust. So, your dryer has an exhaust that kicks out to the outside, so it vents. It does. So since you live in an apartment, you will have your property manager clean that for you, because if you live in your own home like I do, I have to clean that out because that's a fire trap right there itself.
Oh yeah, that would be difficult.
Mm-hmm. Well, you just have to remember. It's not difficult. You just have to remember when to do it. You don't forget.
But I know I'm vigilant on it.
Well, that's good news.
You do it every time you do the laundry, and then you're good
to go. It also
fire.
didn't cost me nearly as much to set up this place as I thought it was going to.
Well, what did you think it was going to cost you?
I thought it was going to cost me, starting from scratch, like $50,000.
For what?
To get all. I don't know what things cost. I couldn't tell you I had no idea what a couch cost. If you told me a couch cost $8,000, I'd have believed it.
Tim, how old are you?
I just turned 35. I didn't know how much these furniture pieces cost. I can tell you what a bottle of champagne costs. That I know. But a couch? No idea. Could not have told you. A chair? I walked into this furniture store. I was like, is everything on sale? I was shocked at some of the cheap prices on things. I got a couch.
You thought you were going to spend $50,000 furnishing your home. How many square feet is it? 800? It would be the pad if you threw in $50,000.
A little larger than that. I just didn't know. I had budgeted between 30 and 50. Figured that's probably what it's going to cost me to outfit a table and a chairs and a couch and a chair and a television.
You can't spend that much.
I didn't.
It's possible.
Oh no, I didn't. The couch was $900 and because it was on sale. And I went to the IKEA and got this really lovely wingback chair.
Oh, please tell me you had to build it.
Oh no, I couldn't build it on my own. I got help. I took one look at it and I was like, I don't understand this.
That would be a show that I would watch. I would pay to watch that on YouTube.
That and my barbecue
a
had to be
YouTube
put
channel
together for me.
of Tim just building IKEA stuff.
I think
I've had to do that, and I've wanted to murder myself.
Oh, I'm sure
quite a few times.
I'm sure I could do it, but it would not have taken me as short a period of time as others. Same with my barbecue. Someone put it together for me because it would have taken me forever. But anyway, yeah, it was a lot. I don't know what things cost sometimes. So I outfitted this place with bookshelves and everything at such a fraction of what I thought it was going to cost me. It was very nice.
You could have spent more money.
Yeah,
I could have,
but seems like you should have spent more. Now that you're talking about
it. No, but I really love everything I've got. No. Well, I'm saving that money up for a down payment for something. So I'm glad I didn't have to really exhaust that money. But I was I don't know. If you told me a couch had cost $7,000-8,000, I said, yeah, okay, well, that's the cost of doing business, I guess. I don't know. I never.
So I guess the good thing is you don't have to shovel snow anymore or fall down your stairs during an ice storm. That must be a bonus, right?
That is going to be such a relief not to have to do that. I can't tell you how happy that will make me.
It does. Yeah, well, now it does sound. It does sound like condo ownership is more in your future than a house to buy a house.
I could see that, or a townhouse or something. Yeah, I could see that.
Well, a townhouse, you still got to do everything yourself. I own a townhouse. I got to do everything myself.
Yeah, I could see that. But I got this really nice chair for $300. I thought if you told me this was $1,300-1,400, I'd have believed you. I don't know what things cost.
I mean, I got some stuff to sell you. If you want to, if there's stuff in my house that you want to purchase, you can buy it off me. I'll cut you a deal.
I bet you will. No. Anyway,
when you buy your own home, call my company. We will come up to wherever you live, and we will build whatever you want for you at a great price. Great fucking price, too.
So anyway, I mean, it was, and plus I have some antique furniture that I inherited that I was able to put around too. So I have a mixture. I have a very modern style of decorating. That's what I like. It's modern looking stuff. So I have a very modern looking place with a couple of antique things thrown around.
Your modern IKEA stuff?
There's only one or two IKEA pieces.
Okay. Well,
but it's like bright and very nice. And yeah, so anyway, that's that's the news on that.
okay.
God, I hate IKEA.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
I get lost there. I got physically lost there once.
I don't see. They have they have
The
arrows
Swedish
on the
meatballs
floor.
in their little food court.
Oh,
Those are okay.
so good. And you know what? The
Those are
Nordic
okay.
Cola, the unsweetened Nordic Cola that you get from their fountains is actually really good. Shockingly.
Wait. So it's like unsweetened. So it's like soda water.
Yeah,
That's black.
but it does taste like cola, but it's not sweet. It's hard to describe, but it's delicious. Yeah, I really like the IKEA food court. You'll get some of the best food there. That's for sure.
Well,
You know what? Who you love? Costco is what you love.
Oh, I love Costco. I go there.
Their
all the time
food
now.
court bomb right there. $1.50 hot dog. Can't beat that.
$1.50 hot dog and a Sprite together, like that's a great price.
It is.
You'll get a bottle.
And they're
of water
delicious.
They are delicious.
You know, hey,
delicious.
Quick hint for the people out there: even if you don't have a Costco membership, if you walk up to the front and tell that little person that you show your card to that you're just getting food, they will let you in.
Is that so?
They will let you in.
That's interesting. I mean, I know.
I only go to Costco for the food.
Well, they
For the
have.
food court.
They have great deals on like regular food. Like I bought this tenderloin there not long ago. Oh my god, it was delicious.
How'd you cook it?
It was some of it was made into steaks and some of it was smoked.
Smoked.
Yeah, some of it was.
Did
really
you
good.
smoke it yourself?
No, my father has a smoker. I bought him for Father's Day a
okay.
couple of years ago. So one of my Father's Day gifts was to get him this tenderloin. He made some steaks. We also smoked some of it.
it was give him these tenderloin steaks and make him make it for you.
He loves using it. Like I purchased it all. He loves doing it. Something like to entertain. Like anyway, he enjoys it. He likes to look up various recipes and rubs and stuff. And
How does he do that? Does he read it in a book?
no, he asks me, and then I ask Tim, and he tells me, then I tell him.
So instead of just Googling it yourself, you do a three-way chain where the guy on the end Googles it, then tells you.
I mean, I have looked at things in the past online, but and again, it never occurs to me to Google stuff. I'm a grown-up. I'm actually used to asking real people questions and looking things up in books. It's what I was raised to do.
You're younger than both Kenny and I. Kenny, do you use a thing called the Google?
Yes. To
Like, I don't
figure out
use
stuff
Google
that I don't know.
Like, do you use it every day? I don't use Google every day.
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
not
I use it every day.
Really?
Every day.
That's wild.
Every
Paul.
day.
Okay, Paul. Maybe you can shed some light on this. Do you?
I don't think most.
Yeah. Let's throw that out there as a poll down in the comments section, or you can just tweet at the PME and you let me know. Do you use Google every day? Paul, do you?
Literally like 50 times a day. Like for everything.
So it's
How do
just
you
a
not
crutch
use
then.
Google?
So it's just a crutch. You aren't learning
No,
anything.
it's not a
Don't
crutch.
retain any
Of course
knowledge
you're
of it.
learning it because you get the answer.
You don't
Of
retain
course
that
you're
knowledge.
learning
You
it.
never retain that knowledge then, I bet.
Says who?
Why is that not? No, of course I do. I read something once and I learn how to do it. I'm done. I
So
don't
you
have to go-
Google how long it is to cook a chicken breast in the oven, and then you just remember that exact time and temperature every time from the one
Well,
time
there
you
is
looked
no
it up.
exact time and temperature for that,
Not
Tim. Everything
necessarily,
is
but I'll
different.
just look it up
I
again.
just Google. I've been asked to Google it, and I see what the number says, and that's what I go with, and then I write it down so that I know. whenever
Why
I
do you
look
need
up
to
again.
write it down? All you need to
Well, I don't-
how big are the chicken breasts that you're using? Because it depends on how you're cooking them. For one thing, if you're roasting them in the oven, set it to 425. Put it on for 20 minutes. See what it looks like. Flip it over. Put it on for another 10 to 15
that-
minutes.
Oh, oh,
and
By
then-
the way,
what I
I
hear,
discovered
Tim-
this stuff called parchment paper.
Oh my
It is so good. It is so
I
good.
told you to start using parchment paper instead of using aluminum foil.
Well, you taught me to use aluminum foil with
And then-
ham, so I was
and-
using
and-
that.
and then,
and
what-
now I'm
and-
using this stuff called parchment
Yeah,
paper.
who-
It is so good.
Who told you to use the parchment paper?
I don't remember.
It was me.
Oh, I don't. Are you sure it was you?
Yes,
I know it was.
I am. Are you serious?
I don't remember who told me to use parchment paper.
Maybe you should have written it down.
How many post-it notes does Tim have at his house right now? Like if he's writing down like how long to cook a piece of chicken, like where do you?
I
keep
just
all
wrote it in my
these?
books. I wrote it in my little notebooks and my scribblers.
And then how do you like? Why wouldn't you put it on a computer so you could like search like a chicken
Whatever.
or something like that? Like how do you?
This is what my grandmother used to do. She used to write stuff down.
Your
Your
grandmother's
grandmother's
80.
probably like 80 years old.
So that's how she remembered, and that's how I remember.
But you don't
It's
remember. But you actually don't remember it.
There's like science to show that if you physically write something down, you have a better chance of remembering it.
But you
than
just said that
look
you
at it.
don't remember it and you have to go back and look at it.
Sometimes, yeah, but other times I can just recall it. It depends on the thing.
Paul, you have a question?
Not even a question. Like, yeah, that I used to use that strategy. I would write down like all of my history notes for like before an exam. But that's because I wasn't allowed to have a computer that I could just look these things up on. Like that's,
Yeah,
that's
you're right.
why
That
I
you
would
want to
have
use it as a
remember.
crutch. You want to use it as a crutch. You don't want to learn anything.
It's
You
not
just
a
wanna use
crutch. It's like the world we live in now.
Yeah, why are you wasting time writing things
Everything's
down?
at your fingertips. Everything's there.
Well, yes, you're
It
right.
makes
We
life
live in,
easier.
this is a world of last men where everything is just about whatever's most comfortable and easy. But I mean, that doesn't mean that we have to embrace that type of like, I don't know, purposelessness.
It just sounds like what you're doing is what they did 300 years ago because you can't figure out how to Google things.
Well, I don't think they were doing it 300 years ago.
Wait, they weren't writing things down to remember them?
I think they were doing different stuff 300 years ago.
What were they doing?
I mean, 300 years ago, a lot of people weren't literate, so I don't think they were writing stuff down.
So they had a series of noises they grunted at themselves in order to
I have
remember
no
things?
idea. Actually, I don't know how in the 1700s it was done, or the 1600s it was done. I really don't know.
I can tell you in 2022, people just Google things. It's much easier.
Well,
or,
and there's
or,
not-
or
I'm
set
not
up or set up a tab either on your phone or on your computer with the notes that you're writing down. And that way you can just hotkey them and be like, oh yeah, that, perfect.
I don't know what any of that means, but okay.
How do you not know what that means?
Okay, well,
Yeah,
it works for you. Great.
I don't
Great.
know what hotkey means either. There's-
No, of course you don't. It's just some
I'm with you
buzz,
on that one.
some
I don't-
hipster
I
buzzword
don't know.
that like
So Kenny-
0.1% of people have heard of.
So Kenny,
But everyone knows it.
But Kenny, you don't have folders on your computer for like the hotkeys that you use, the most common things that you use, or stuff that you want.
You
to
mean
say.
like favorite
Look,
buttons, like things that are
on
favorite.
my computer, the only thing I use my computer for is work and podcasts and video and stuff like that. Everything's on my phone. I use my phone way more than I should. Everything's here that I need to go. Like, what's a hotkey? Explain to me. Because
No
I
one,
don't
no
even
one
know
knows
that.
what that is. No
Basically,
one knows what that is.
basically, just set up your bookmarks tab, and the stuff that you want to use more often, you can set either into folders, or you can just have them as their standalone icon. And then at the top of either your Chrome or your Firefox, Tim still uses Internet Explorer, I'm sure.
Netscape.
There you go. Whatever
No,
whatever
I
the
use
factory
Chrome.
settings
No,
that come with the computer, that's what
I
Tim
use
is using.
Safari. I use Safari.
Good, that's just fantastic stuff. But at the top, you can still, even on Safari, you can do it. If there's something that you use often or go to often, or something that you want to save that you need to refer to at a later date, just bookmark it, put it in your bookmarks tab, or in the folder of need to return to or saving for later.
Yeah, I
and
do
boom.
the bookmark thing. I do the
I know how to do.
bookmark
Yeah,
thing.
me too. I can book.
I do that.
Do you do that though, Tim?
Yeah, no, I do. I bookmark things. Absolutely.
What do you have bookmarked
I
on your
have, like-
computer right now?
I'll look it up right now on my bookmarks. I have BBC, CNN, Fox News. I have ESPN, The Score, the CBC. I have the Yellow Pages. I have PSN.ca.
Whoa.
I have Radio Canada.
Did you say Yellow Pages?
Yeah.
I think you did.
Are they still around?
Digitally.
Are there's like digital version of the Yellow Pages?
Oh yeah.
What in God's name would you use the Yellow Pages for?
It like just tells you where things are real quick.
You mean like Google?
Like what?
Like you just find stuff really quickly.
So just like Google.
I mean, I guess, but like check it
But
out.
like
Use
the
it
thing about
sometimes.
Google, the thing about Google is it has every single option that you could possibly think of. Does the Yellow Pages do that?
Well, I mean, I type in like what I want. For example, like if you use the Yellow Pages, you want to find Chinese food. You just type in Chinese, and then you type in your city, and you push enter.
Done.
and
I
boom.
have-
It gives you all kinds of places where you can get Chinese food in the area.
What do you think Google does exactly?
Yeah.
Google does all kinds of stuff.
Do you think
Like
it,
what?
But this I know is only going to give me results for businesses that I'm looking for to purchase something from.
now if
Which
I
is-
if
Wait,
I
wait,
Like
wait, wait.
filters. It's really useful. I use
Tim,
yellowpages.ca.
that is Google.
Almost
Tim,
I use yellowpages.ca almost every day.
Tim. That is Google.
No, it's not Google. It's its own web page. It's not Google. It's its own web page.
yeah, but you're
It's
now
called
go,
Yellow-
I'm just saying.
but you're
it's
taking
the
an
exact same thing.
But you're taking an extra step to get there for no reason
no,
whatsoever.
what it does is
and it's probably
it
out of
filters
date
your
because
results.
filters your results by what? Chinese food? You don't think? If you Google Chinese food near me, what do you think pops up?
I have no idea.
Take a
Chinese food near you.
guess.
I suspect it gives you a listing of both like Wikipedia pages and restaurants near you.
Wikipedia
and
pages of Chinese restaurants near you?
just
You have, like,
Chinese
famous
restaurants in
ass
general. I don't know.
motherfucking Chinese
I
restaurants
assume,
near you?
I assume you get a smorgasbord of various results. Some of them that are very useful. Some of them that are like
Tim,
broad.
This
I
want
know.
you to go on your phone right now, okay, and go to Google. Which, if you have an iPhone, which would be automatic, just type in whatever you want to type in on the top. First off, that's what you have to do on your iPhone. You don't have to go to Google.com. You just
I have the app.
type in. You don't have to go to no app. You just
On my phone,
go to
I
your
do.
internet. You go to the internet on your phone. Type in Chinese food near me. See what shows up. What shows up is every Chinese food restaurant near you, the distance, if they deliver,
Well,
their
actually, it just
hours.
shows me right now. Well, I don't trust the hours on Google. They lie all the time.
Oh,
I've
man,
been to
I have
restaurants
to talk
that
to you
say
about
they're
that one.
there are
That.
restaurants that say they're going to be open and they're not open. So I don't trust that.
Tim, that's from Christmas. That was one of the most angry things I've ever been at you ever on any of your Cust Corners. Should we go over it? Should I talk about this now?
Do it.
Pat?
Do it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's your time.
Okay. So I will tell you right now, your service industry takes, Tim, the worst. Like, okay, you're thinking about technology. You're thinking about Pam on whatever. All your other things, they don't bother me. A lot of them I agree with. Okay, your service industry takes get me fucking triggered, bro. It could be because I've worked in the service industry for 20 years. Okay, here's the thing. That thing in Christmas, you look at the Google and the hours aren't right, and you bitch and complain about that. And you're like, these people enjoy working at McDonald's on Christmas Day. That is the farthest thing from the truth you could ever think of in your life. No server enjoys their job, like 2%, maybe. And I was a good server. I actually part of that 2%. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I really hope to God that the restaurants you go to, okay, if you do things that, or I don't know how you tip. I figure you're a good tipper. I would expect
I
you to be a good tipper.
I usually tip 20%.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And that's nothing to worry about then. Okay. But I mean, like the consistent asking of questions, the hours thing.
I like to order off menu. I really like to order off menu.
You don't like to order off menu. We were just going over this right before the show, Kenny. He was talking about different combinations of things at McDonald's he orders, and if he orders an extra sauce that doesn't come with the meal, that's considered off the menu.
Oh, that's off the menu. Here's the thing, Tim. Like, you have to be careful in the restaurant industry. Now, people peeing or spitting in your food, that's rare. Okay, it doesn't happen that often. Unless you're super fucking annoying and you go to the restaurant repeatedly and they know who you are. Here's a story for you. I was going to save this for a story time with Kenny on Fantasy Golf Generous podcast, but I feel like that I could say this story here. So I used to, bartend in Southwest Virginia, a very popular bar. I was with a fellow bartender. We were at our bar that we were working at, having a couple of drinks, and this group walks in, and they are known shitty tippers, known annoying customers, right? And so the girl I was with, really nice girl, sweet girl. The service industry will jade you, okay? I started a couple of years before she came in. We've been working together about 5 years. Sweetest girl, nicest girl you could think of. She sees this group come in. She sees the main ringleader of this group come in. And she's like, last time I waited on them, they spent $400. They tipped me $20. They ran me ragged. They asked me stupid ass questions about the food, blah, 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 blah. So she was like, meet me outside in 5 minutes. I was like, what the fuck? Meet you outside in 5 minutes? What the fuck are you going to do? So I see her. She runs outside to her car, comes back in, goes to the bathroom, and she's like, and while she's walking to the bathroom, she gives me like a 3-minute warning sign. Okay, I'm like, okay. So I go outside and I meet her outside. And she comes out with a bag. I'm like a a shopping bag, like a plastic shopping bag from Safeway or something like that, right? And there was a little bit of weight on the bottom. I'm like, what the fuck is that? She's like, I shit in the bag. I'm gonna put it on his car. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you shit in his bag?
God.
Okay, so this isn't even the craziness of the story. So this guy, okay, he drives a very loud truck. Everyone knows that this is his truck, right? But so what she was planning on doing was flipping her own shit over. I didn't even think pretty girls like her shit. Okay, first off, but her own fucking shit. Okay, she was gonna put in the gas cap that you pull open. All right. Now we get to her car. We get to the dude's car, and it's one of those things where the gas cap is locked. Okay, but it has that little triangle hole where you put your finger in and you open it up, right? So this crazy ass girl, and I didn't even think she was this crazy. Sweet girl. I loved her. Never thought this was in her. This is what the restaurant industry does to people. Okay. Now, so what she does is she like moves the shit into the corner of the bag, right? And like tilts it and like, spins it, runs to her car, comes back with a pair of scissors, right? And she cuts the edge of the plastic bag and makes it like a piping bag. Where you like do icing and shit.
Oh
right?
my God.
And so what she does, she puts the end of the fucking piping bag in the corner of the gas where that little hole is, and it squeezes her shit out right into the middle, right into the dude's gas cap. I was rolling. I couldn't believe that she was doing.
This is a very deranged person.
The thing is, she's not.
She's not.
This is what happens when people work in the service industry and have to deal with people like you all the time. It makes us go crazy. It makes us go insane and do insane shit. Like, the thing is, like, I'd say like 40 to 50% of all servers in the industry probably drug addict or alcoholic. Okay? Brain cells gone. But they will fucking remember the guy that stiffed them from 3 years ago on a Thursday night like a fucking elephant. Like, we remember that shit.
Well, see, now I would never do that.
I know. I know. I'm just giving you a whole overall general thing, because like there are things that even small things can make a server go insane. So just be careful when you go out to eat. Okay? I mean, like, if you bitch at a fucking guy for okay, man, I was like, man, you guys said you were going to be open, blah, 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 at this time, but you weren't. Something as small as that can trigger one of us. Look at me right now. I was fine 5 minutes ago. And now we're talking about the restaurant business. And just remember, these guys work hard. We only work for tips. I made $2.14 an hour.
Okay, but where I am going on Christmas Day is McDonald's.
They'll fuck you too.
And they'll get double time and a half for working on Christmas Day.
So they're gonna make
I'm a 16-year-old
$20 an hour instead of like,
if I'm a 16 or 17-year-old, I want to work Christmas Day because I want to make all that extra money.
No.
I used to know people who worked at a drugstore that's 24 hours and fast food places who would always volunteer to work the holidays because they wanted that double time and a half.
Maybe, and they probably don't have families. Like, you got to remember, these people have families too, and it's a holiday. They're working on a holiday to serve your needs,
and I appreciate
instead of being. Do you?
I do appreciate it. Yes, I do. I tip at McDonald's. I tip at Tim Hortons.
Okay, well, that's good. That's actually pretty fucking incredible.
You don't tip at McDonald's.
Yeah, no,
that is not
anytime
true.
I'm using
that is such
anytime
a
I'm
fucking
using
lie.
cash. Anytime I'm using cash, I always let them keep the change. Never do I ask for the change.
Okay, that is another thing. You tell some motherfucker to keep 16 cents.
Well, whatever the change is, like I just don't keep the change. If
that is more disrespectful.
If the meal is $14 and or $15 and I give them a 20, I probably don't want the change.
You leave them the 20.
So you will tip $5 on that. That is a fucking absurd statement by you.
Right now.
That is untrue, and that's a lie.
No. If a meal's like a normal thing, it might be like $16.50 or whatever. If I give them a 20, I'll say keep the change. Absolutely.
I've never seen you do this.
Well, you don't usually go through the drive-thru with me at McDonald's.
I don't believe this for a second.
If you do this, Tim,
I do this.
That is a very good thing.
When I use cash, I don't always use cash at McDonald's.
That's
so if I'm using cash, I've got cash in my ashtray to use. I never ask for any change back. I'm not that type of person.
What kind of how much are you spending if these cash that you're spending you're using from your ashtray? What do you got, like $300 in like loonies in there that you're paying with? Like, here's another one. Here's another one.
No, I keep bills in my ashtray.
What? Why?
Like my ashtray in my car, like is like a little door on the side that has like that clips up and clips down. And maybe it's not an ashtray. Maybe it's really designed for coins. I don't know what it is. It's a little place in my car. I call it an ashtray, but I mean, it's the thing that I use to keep change and money in.
How old is your fucking car? Like, I remember
old.
those things. I remember those things when I was like so I remember vividly when I was in the Boy Scouts. I used to go to this Boy Scout, get rides with this one kid's dad all the time. And the kid, he loved mustard. So he was in a club in elementary school called the Mustard Maniacs. I might have been a part of this club. Okay. All right. And so we put mustard on everything. And in his car, they had those little little coin purse looking things that were an ashtray.
So this is what I've got. This is
like in 1988 when they had this. And every time I opened it, it would be full of like, mustard packs.
So I've got a Toyota Camry.
Crazy. He literally sucked mustard out of the packs and put it in there.
It's a 2013 Camry. And right to the left-hand side of the steering wheel, there's a little, like you click a little button and it's a drop down and it basically holds change. And I just have tons of change and bills in there.
At least you're smart with the car. Toyota, the way to fucking go. Go Japanese.
Yeah, I love Toyota cars.
There you go. I got my 4Runner this past fall and it's the greatest.
4Runner's is a bit too much car for me. I either wanted a RAV or a Camry when I bought a new car.
And the RAV4, not bad too. Again, I'm in construction. I need a big truck.
I get that. No, I totally get that.
You didn't buy a new car. You ran into a deer and they gave you a new car.
Well, a deer ran into me and I had to purchase a new car because of it.
Yeah, deer, no joke. I've definitely hit a couple deer in my life.
Now, I've got some things on my list here I'd like to chat about.
Well, you know what? We're 45 minutes into the show. You have yet to have the floor. This is your show, Cust Corner, named after you. So let's hear it.
I'm very disappointed with you, the people, about something. About a month ago, I didn't realize that it's an epidemic amongst you people that 83% of you like cold buffalo wings because you prefer to put your sauce all over the wings like a monster rather than get it on the side. Now, I'm different. I like fresh, crispy wings, and I like to control how much sauce is on my wing because I'm a normal person. But you monsters who want ice cold buffalo wings, who want them covered in gloopy sauce and in not sauce, you want them poured all over there. I'm very disappointed in you. I mean, I'm your tribune. I'm there for you. And part of my job is to, I think, correct you when you're wrong. And you people are wrong on this one.
Tim, I will fight for you
Thank
on
you.
this take
Thank you.
till I die. 100% truth. 100% truth.
Thank you.
Why would you want to add wet sogginess to the crispiness of those wings that are naked, that don't have any sauce on? That's 100% truth. 100% truth.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't either. I worked in a wing joint. The bar that I used to work at in Roanoke was a Buffalo Wild Wings. The only way I'll get my wings, unless they're Korean style fried chicken wings. That's different. Tim, I don't know if Korean style fried chicken has gotten into Canada.
There is a place here. There is a place around here. I've never gone.
Oh, okay. Once you go there, you'll change your mind about the sauce because my people, we do the sauce thing right. Perfect amount, still crispy because we double fry. And also Korean chicken wings. What they do is they get something and they suck the fat out in between the skin and the meat. They suck that fat out so it creates that pocket inside the chicken wing. So it keeps the inside of the chicken wing super moist because there's a pocket now and the outside stays extraordinarily crisp. Go to your local Korean fried chicken joint and get yourself some Korean fried wings. My personal favorite, Panchan. It's big in America. They're everywhere now. Go try that. If you have that with sauce, they do the sauce right. Every other American, Canadian, whatever fucking wing place there is, get the fucking sauce on the side. Tim is 100% correct on this.
I am indifferent to the entire sauce on, sauce off. I can eat without sauce, have a dip, but I prefer to mix my sauces because I like something that's extremely hot, but I do like the tang of something else. So if I get suicide sauce, I'll either get the suicide sauce on the wings and then dip them in something like honey garlic or jerk sauce, something like that, or do the opposite. Sometimes it's better.
Do you actually enjoy? Do you actually enjoy the suicide type wings?
Yeah. I mean, except there was one.
Okay.
There was one instance, and Tim was with me, where you had to sign a waiver in order to eat them, and it was just simply too hot, and it was embarrassing for everyone, myself included, who tried them, except for one person who pounded like 20 of them, no problem.
Yeah, they're like 60,000 on the Schofield scale or whatever that is.
Yeah, no. See, why I don't understand why people want to hurt themselves while they
Yeah,
eat.
I don't want to hurt myself.
That makes no sense.
But
to
I
me.
do like really hot food, so getting super hot wings, I do like them. I like the taste of it.
Okay.
Look, no sauce on the wings, extra crispy.
Yes.
Blue cheese, Tim, or ranch?
Oh, blue cheese, 100%.
Yes. Blue cheese.
What kind of monster uses ranch? What kind of child
exactly.
uses ranch?
Blue cheese.
Yes.
And then the sauce on the side.
Yes.
You do a double little dip.
Yes.
Double little dip.
Yes.
Get your bite. Double little dip. Double little dip.
You're speaking
get your
my
bite
language.
again.
You're speaking my
That's
language.
the way to go.
That's
is
the only way to
eat a chicken
go.
wing. Yes.
Oh, you need to come on this show more often.
There you go, Tim. I yelled at you about 5 minutes ago.
This
But
is
yes,
great. This is
yes,
great.
I agree with you on this.
Thank you.
I wholeheartedly disagree with this awful take. Blue cheese.
Yeah, it's because you have very strange and sort of subpar.
No.
Well,
weak taste buds.
you just said that 80% of people would want the sauce on it, so it seems like you're in the vast minority here.
I'm very disappointed in them. They should
Because
know
most
better.
of them haven't tried it.
I think that's what
Most
it
of
is.
them,
They don't know
when
any
they
better.
order wings, they just order wings and they expect the sauce to be on it. Try some new shit.
So
I got two other.
Oh,
Okay,
hold on. Before we get off of wings and food, because this came up recently, and Kenny, you were involved in this conversation. Not directly, because you weren't there. It was Tim, myself, and someone else on the golf course. And he was making some sort of ludicrous food take, which was just sounded awful. And then he said, well, Kenny agrees with me, and Kenny is a chef. Are you a chef, Kenny?
I am not a chef. I will let you know. My experience in the restaurant industry started off as bartending, wing joints. But the last 10 years before I got this construction job was at a fine dining restaurant, fine dining, white tablecloth. And what this restaurant did for its employees was to try and get them to learn more about different fine dining places. So if you went out to eat at a nice restaurant and I brought the receipt back to my boss, he would refund me my part of the meal as a like a learning experience to learn. So I know a lot about food. I think Tim's take that you're talking about might have been about the caviar spoon.
Yes.
Was that what it is? That's 100%.
Yes.
That's 100% correct.
Yeah, you have to use mother of pearl.
Because when it comes to caviar,
hold on, that's not what this was about. This was about something really stupid. But because you had said that, he was basically calling you Chef Kenny.
I am not a chef, but I've worked in a very high end.
Yeah, that's close enough.
That's good enough.
My guest average around $80 per person per meal.
I think that's good enough.
So anyone who works in the restaurant is a chef, according to you, Tim.
If you're helping to prepare the food in some way, shape, or form,
I'm not preparing shit. But the thing is, I'm serving it. But I have
unlike that other server who is literally preparing shit in the parking lot.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing: if you're a good server, you have to learn about your food. There is an art to it. The way you speak about the food.
I agree with that.
The only way you could eloquently speak and talk about the food is if you tried it, if you know what goes into it, if you know the work that it takes to get this beautiful piece of food out to you. Okay. And that makes our job easier. So when chefs explain that to us, which, we had a meeting 30 minutes before opening every day. Okay. And the chef is out there telling you, what he's doing, what he expects, what's on the menu, what the specials are. Okay. You learn about that. And that's how you become a good server. Okay. I took pride in my job as a server and I made damn good money. You know what I'm saying? I only worked like 28 hours a week. I had as unlimited amount of time to research on golf, and stuff like that. But the money was great for the amount of hours I worked. I was pulling $65K a year, working 28 hours a week. Not bad. You know what I'm saying? Not bad. Some years I even got close to 70. Not bad. But the only way you can do that is if you take the job seriously.
Sure.
And that's another reason why, going back to when I was yelling, you know, that's why you got to be careful when you go to some of these restaurants and just make sure you take care of your servers. Don't work them extra hard. Don't ask them unnecessary questions. Don't. I know they're there for you, and we'll do it. We'll do it. But if we remember you and you come back and you fucked us on a tip or something like that, we'll fucking remember. The restaurants I worked at, we would never do anything bad to the food. We would just, talk shit behind your back.
And
every time you walk.
deface the cars in the parking lot.
Yes, that was when I worked at a wing joint and I was in my mid-20s.
Okay. Fair enough.
A little bit different.
I just wanted you to know that Cust was giving you stolen chef valor, is all I'm saying.
I mean, I'll take it. Shit,
Yeah,
fuck it.
fair enough.
I'll take it. Fuck it.
I mean, basically, you've corroborated what I thought, so that's fine.
I'll take it.
Thank you. Again, you need to come on more often. This is great.
Like I said, Tim, like a lot of the stuff I agree with you. There's certain things that you talk about that get me.
Well, let's see if you agree with this.
All right.
So it's summertime. People love to go to the beach. I get it. I've never been a huge beach person, but one of the things that drives me the most batty about the beach
Sand?
No. When people say, I got to go to this beach because it's got the warmest water. I hate the warm water beaches. You want that water freezing cold when you go to the beach. It is super hot out. The sand is hot. You're not going to the beach if it's mild. You're going to the beach because it's super hot. So that means when you're going to get in that water, you want it to cool you down. You want it to be very cold. You want it to almost take your breath away cold, and you can adapt a bit, and it cools you down. And then ocean water is dirty. You don't want to be in there very long. You're in there for a minute or two.
You think that ocean water? Hold on. You think that ocean water is dirty versus what? Lake water?
Well, yeah. I mean, think of what the things that sail around in the ocean and are in the ocean.
Think about how
it's all salty.
big the ocean is versus a lake.
All right.
You want it freezing cold.
Yes.
Cold water, better at beaches.
Cold water can be good if you're in Cuba, where the water isn't all that hot.
No,
where you live, where I live, you don't want the water fucking cold because the cold water here is legit cold water.
That's what I want.
Okay, it depends. Okay.
It doesn't get that hot here, is the thing.
It
Cold
does.
water?
It does get that hot.
It does not get that hot here.
Cold water can make for better viewing. Especially if there's a lot of women in bikinis. You know what I'm saying? You get the little things popping up. Cold water could be good for certain things. All right, Tim. But the thing is, you got to realize, when you're in a place that has warm water, that water is still a lot colder than what the temperature is outside. So it will feel good to you jumping in.
It's all a softness thing. I've got to have the warmest waters to swim. No, you don't.
I don't see you I don't see you doing the polar bear swim every single year, pal. If you love cold water so much.
I mean, the polar bear swim is literally to be frozen for a second or two for the novelty of it. You're going to the beach in the summer because it's incredibly oppressively hot. Then you get to the beach and it's sandy, and that exudes even more heat because it absorbs the heat. And the towel is hot, and you're sweating, and you're wearing a sunblock, and it's hot. Yeah, the towel absorbs the heat too, and it's hot.
What do you have, a metal towel?
The whole thing is hot, and it's unpleasant. And you're like, I need to cool down. And then you don't want to wade into water that's warm or mild. You want it to be freezing cold. You want it cold. You want to be refreshed.
How many times
have
you ever walked into the ocean at a beach, which sounds like you've never been to the beach, and you've walked into the ocean where we live, and it's mild feeling? It never happens.
There are parts along the Northumberland where it is exactly like that. Absolutely, it's like that. Absolutely, it's not freezing cold. It's like relatively warm waters. There's a beach nearby here. It's one of the best beaches in the province called Rainbow Haven.
Oh my god!
The water is freezing cold.
It is,
and it is.
So you go to the trash beach of the
It's not a trash beach. I grew up going to that beach.
Yeah, of course, it's the trash beach.
Stop saying that. Stop saying that.
Anyone from our region will tell you, and I think they have told you, it is the trash beach around. It's the one that's near the city.
It's a beautiful beach, and the water is always so cold, which makes it so refreshing.
I think when it comes to beach water, I don't hate that take about being a little bit chillier. I don't hate that.
Thank you.
The big thing is what you want when you go to the beach is clear water. Have you ever been to the Caribbean, Tim?
Yeah, I have a couple of times. I didn't love it.
What?
Yeah, Tim.
Why would you not love that clear water?
No, Tim was big on going down south, true story, and watching the different channels in his room from the normal.
I spent most of my time in the room. I spent most of my time in the hotel room.
Where in the Caribbean did you go?
Jamaica, the Dominican Republic twice, and just outside.
You're not in the beach drinking El Presidente in the Dominican.
In the morning,
on, man. That's what you got to do, right?
In the morning, I'd have a drink or something outside by the pool, maybe by the beach one day. But I'm spending most of my time indoors, mostly in my room, laying on the bed, watching various TV channels.
I have to
drinking
admit,
from the minibar.
When I went to the Caribbean, I went to St. Martin. I spent a lot of time indoors, but most of them were inside brothels. Okay, I mean, when I wasn't in one of them, then I was in the fucking beach or the casino. So if I wasn't, it was casino, brothels.
We live very different lives. We live different lives, Kenny, and which is great.
That's probably true.
We live different lives, and that's fine. But no, I like to spend my time indoors watching telenovelas or whatever.
Yeah. If you ever go to St. Martin, the best brothel in town, Siemens. It's literally called Siemens.
That's a Dutch place, is it not? Like
No. It's Dutch and French, but I think this is actually on the French side.
Oh my Lord.
It was beautiful. It was great. You walk in, it's a bar with, girls with no clothes and porn on the TV. It was beautiful. I loved it.
So you have to have your cold water beaches, despite the fact that you don't ever want to go to the beach.
I don't like to go to the beach often, but when I do go.
When was the last time you went to the beach? When was the last time you went to the beach?
It's been a few years because I was living by a lake, so it's been a few years. It's probably been 6 or 7 years since I've been to a beach. It's never been my scene, right? Because I also don't like getting dirty in the sand, and then there's sand everywhere. And I never understood the appeal of the beach. I actually think it's a very overrated thing to do. But if you're going to do it and you're going to get in the water to cool down, you want to cool down. You want it freezing cold. It goes back to Nordic recovery, right? You go into cold pools, and that when you go back into the heat, there's a thermic and a thermal sort of healing process.
I don't know where you've gone, where you've stepped foot into the ocean where we live, and you think it's a fucking heated pool.
Well, it's in the summer. It's relatively warm along the Northumberland Strait, Nova Scotia. It is relatively warm.
What's relatively warm?
Up by Pugwash and areas like that, it's not that cold.
Okay, what's not that cold?
I'm terrible at guessing temperatures, but it's cool but not cold. You don't have to work hard to adjust to the water. Whereas it's teeth chattering cold at other beaches, which is great. It's what I'm looking for.
So you would like to be as uncomfortable as possible in the water.
I'm just trying to cool down. I don't want to spend a long time.
Here's the thing, Pat. Once you're in that cold water for 5 minutes, it starts feeling warm. Yeah. I have no problem with the cold water take.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you. This is great. You need to come on more often. This is great.
It's
nice to see that Pat's once again on the wrong side of things.
Well, I think that people are going to agree with me on this one because
I think the majority of people agree with Pat.
Unlike you two, by the way, some people like to spend time in the water.
Yeah. Well, I'm fat and sweaty, so you know what I'm saying. When I'm on the beach,
I'm uncomfortable
extra fat
in the water,
and sweaty. So I like to go in and feel cool when I go in the water. Yes, I would like to.
I'd rather just have
See,
having a cool shower and laying down on the couch.
Pat, you're in shape, not much of a sweater, look good without your shirt on. That's you, Pat. Me and Tim, we're different. We're different. You know what I'm saying?
If I'm going to the beach, I will spend most of my time in the water, bring a football in the water, go throw the football around, make some diving catches. I'm getting older now. You don't want to be doing that out on the beach. You can hurt yourself. In the water, it's fine. If it's just too cold, it's too cold.
Great.
Then you can't do that stuff.
Once you're in the water long enough, you become acclimated and you're good to go.
Yeah, you could acclimatize to anything if you were tough.
Sure, you can do that.
I didn't say that shit, Pat. I didn't say that.
All right, we're talking about Softy Cust over here. I'm not too worried about what he's up to. But
apparently somebody's too soft to go into cold water. It's too tingly, too cold for him.
You haven't been to the beach in 7 years.
Well, because I was living by a lake.
I'm sorry, you're living by the lake. Was the lake too cold for you?
The lake actually gets too warm. Actually,
have you ever peed in a lake before?
No, that's disgusting. I know people do it, but it's disgusting.
You say you've never peed in the lake?
No, of course not, because I swim in that water.
It's probably safe because that parasite.
I know that people do it, but it's disgusting.
Have you heard about the parasite?
No, I don't like to read about
up your pee hole.
No, I don't like to read about these things.
Hold on. What you're referring to is the mighty Candiru of the Amazon that will swim.
Exactly. Yeah,
It will swim up your urethra and give you an old
I
chomp from the
hear
inside.
that they've had some cases in North America.
Hopefully, I guess our water's too cold and maybe they're not up
So
here.
you're good to go. You're good to go. So yeah, Tim, if you go to like a hot place, don't pee in the water because that shit will run straight up your urethra and get stuck up in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? So be careful with that one.
Duly noted.
Right.
You got anything else?
Yes. I don't understand why local gyms, whether here in Canada we usually like Good Life, in the United States you have like LA Fitness or whatever.
No, that's actually a French brand. It's called La Fitness.
It's La Fitness?
Yeah.
I don't understand, and they should have Olympic-like things for me to do there. Like
What the
they
fuck?
should have like shot puts that I can throw at the
fuck
gym.
are you talking
They should
about?
have discuses that I can throw. They should have the uneven bars or the rings that I can practice.
Tim,
They
if
should
you
have all
can
this
get on
stuff.
the uneven bars, again, another thing I would pay a lot of fucking money to watch.
Well,
that would be
You
incredible.
have to start somewhere, right? And like another way to grow these field events and sports would be for local gyms to have these sorts of things where I learn how to throw a shot put correctly. It's good exercise, or how to throw the hammer, or throw a javelin's hard because of the space.
Tim,
but like to learn how to do this.
Okay,
stuff,
so hold on, stop. The javelin is hard because of the space, but you want to do fucking hammer toss?
You could do the hammer toss into a mat, right? And then like sort of like the way a golf simulator will then tell you how far the golf ball went. This can tell you how far you would have thrown it. Javelin's harder because it's small and it's sharp and it's pointy and it would stick into things. It wouldn't be like a hammer, the hammer or the discus or the shot put. Those would be great for that. There should be hurdles for me to practice on. There should be like the rings.
Oh
the
God,
uneven
yes.
bars.
Please,
Like all
I
that
agree
stuff.
with Tim. I want to see. Yes, the only reason I'm agreeing with Tim on this one is because I want to see video of all of this
I
with
think-
Tim.
Like that, not only is it great exercise, it's also a different thing that people be able to experience that a lot of people do in athletics. And like, it's not that hard. Like, I don't understand why
It's not that hard.
No, not that hard for them to set up. Of course, it's difficult.
You realize that there are space constraints for this, right?
Oh, you can get rid of something that's
Okay,
dead. Every gym has the area that's dead
give
weight.
me an example of something to get rid of to replace with discus.
I mean, I can think in the gym that I often go to is that there's like 2 sets of treadmills. You could get rid of some of them because they're never being used. Anytime I'm there, like one
So
set's
you want
being
like a simulator? What
You
is
would-
it like?
you would have
instead
a
of
space.
golf simulator.
Yeah, you can have
you're
a
like
space there,
throwing
yes.
the discus into
Yeah,
the screen.
yes,
and you see how
exactly.
far it goes.
Exactly. Learning how to
That
throw the
sort of
disc.
would be cool.
It would be
I have to
so
admit.
cool. It would be so
I have to
cool.
admit,
And
that
it would be so
sort of
cool.
So a baseline TrackMan for golf, because I was looking at getting one for the office. I was going to have a TrackMan. We could also be our projection screen when we watch big events in the studio. Hell, I could do the show like they do on Golf Channel, where I'm just like hitting balls into the TrackMan and doing the show at the same time. Seems like it'd be a lot of fun. Baseline, we're looking at like $44,000 for that, for like the shittiest
These are
one.
huge businesses.
Yeah.
what? That's not
do you know what the huge business doesn't want? Something they have to pay $50,000 for that no one's gonna fucking use.
People will use it.
Really?
People will sign up
I
because
don't
of
think
it.
people will use it. Tim, me and you might use it, but I don't
People
think
will
it
say,
would be
Dude,
oh, wow,
that
okay,
much.
you
I gotta learn how to
did.
throw-
Kenny just said he hasn't been to the gym in 30 years, and Tim,
Yeah, I know.
you're gonna use it.
Yeah.
I would absolutely. People would love it. It's good exercise. You work muscles
Tim,
out.
people will
It's
not love it.
interesting.
Me
Yes,
and
they
you
would.
would love it. Me and you would love it.
People
No one else
would
do that
love
shit.
it. It would
No
be
one
so
else would do that
popular,
shit.
and it would get those
Now,
sports
here.
more popular too.
Now, here's the thing: if it wasn't in a gym, if it was at a bar
Oh my god.
where you could drink,
No
Yeah,
one,
it's like-
no,
it's
no
like
one
the axe
has,
throwing
no
bars.
one, no one has that sort of liability insurance at an axe throwing bar.
that's true. You're
At
right.
an
you're
axe,
right,
at
you're
an
right.
axe throwing bar, there's a specific purpose where you're there. People are monitoring you the entire
Yeah, I
time.
know.
You couldn't have fucking duck hunt here and discus throw here with
That
drunk
would be
dudes
amazing,
walking
though.
around.
God, that would be amazing.
I don't.
You're right. You can't,
I don't
you
think
can't
the
have-
complications are that great actually
Really?
in terms of putting this together in the gym.
It's a liability thing. Tim.
It's a
Come on, now,
liability.
think about it.
It's a liability. It's super expensive. No one wants to do it in the first place. And the reason that they have all of those treadmills there because they can buy the treadmills in bulk and people come and use them.
Get rid of the rowing machines. Like, get rid of something. Do an analysis in your gym. Of
Do,
whatever
do
equipment
you think
seems to
that
be the
do you
least
think that
used.
only you have done that with your offhand knowledge of what you think people want analysis versus the actual businesses who run a business?
sometimes they are that there are opportunities that haven't been considered or realized.
Well, you saved
And
all
this is
that.
definitely one of them.
Saved all that money on the furniture. Sounds like you should open a gym.
I don't want to open a gym, but I'd like my local gym to have. I could be shot putting all day long, and like it would be really cool, and people would want to use it, and they'd get good at it.
How is
and
it that
it's
you've
good
never?
exercise.
How is it that you've never gone to your local field and thrown a shot put around?
I just don't. There is a local field.
There's fucking fields everywhere around you. If you
But they don't,
drove
like, have the equipment.
you can go get one. Go rent a shot put ball and go throw it. Go rent a javelin.
Where do you rent
Go
that
throw
at?
it.
Where do you rent that at?
Fucking
Shot puts
know.
are
I don't
us.
fucking know. I'm sure.
Google.
Yeah. Let's see.
Google.
Let's put it into yellow pages.
Shot put.
Oh my God.
Oh, there's a Special Olympics down by our old university where you can go rent these things.
Is that so?
Yeah, and you can do it at the Canada Game Center.
Interesting. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, my point is,
And-
gyms should have all that stuff.
Why
They should
would
have
you?
more
Why
gyms.
would gyms? That's not.
There should be
that's not what a
trampolines.
gym-
There should be pummel horses.
It's not a gymnastics gym. It's a gym to go work out and exercise.
Well, but that's working out and exercise, and that kind of stuff should be there for people.
So you would also need to have trainers specifically for each of these things. So when people do it, that they're not fucking
Sure.
up the entire time and hurting themselves.
Sure, why not?
So you're basically like the live tour of gyms. Where you just have endless money.
I don't think it would be nearly as expensive as you're putting it up. How much would it cost to buy a set of shot puts and a shot of
So
discuses?
Tim Andercust, guy who didn't know what a couch costs, very easy to estimate what this budget is going to be for
can't be that much.
discus simulator, which doesn't fucking exist.
Well, you don't know that. I'm sure there must be places. They must have something like that. Where do you think the top tier Olympic athletes work out on? You think it's always outdoors in a field and they're running back and forth to pick up their discuses? I don't think so. I'm sure that there are simulators. That would seem silly not to. It's a great idea. I've always thought of it. I'd like if the rings were hanging there and I could just like climb up on the rings and practice.
Oh my God, Tim, that would be the most amazing. I want someone to build it just so I can see it happen. It would be incredible.
It would be incredible.
But here's the thing: I sort of agree with you, but I don't think the gym is the right place for this. If you could somehow manufacture the marketing for a place where you would have simulators like this, no, I'm wrong. You still wouldn't make no fucking money. It wouldn't fucking work. But it would be cool to me. It would be cool to me, Tim. It would be cool to me.
It would be cool to everybody.
There is a such thing as a discus simulator as a part of a larger sports simulator. The issue is, I don't know how good these are gonna be because they have like discus. It looks like they have shot put on here, but the graphics look like they're from like Super Nintendo. So I don't know how good these are. It seems really strange.
Olympic games from regular Nintendo. That was my.
It just
shit
seems
right there.
like there would have to be those sorts of things for Olympians who train.
Why?
They wouldn't just be outside in the field all day.
Tim.
Running around chasing after their.
You know that they have
like
giant
indoor stuff.
Yeah, they have giant facilities for this stuff where they specifically go do those things.
I actually don't know where they do these things. I don't know.
I just told you where they.
I mean, in America, it's probably in Colorado. In the Olympic whatever thing that they got in Colorado, that they have these training things that they do for these Olympic games, but like it's in a controlled area where they have professionals around. Now, granted, I love chaos. I would love like a drunk fucking discus throwing bar. That'd be great. I'd go out there and do it and shot put, but I'm sure someone would die doing that at some point in time.
Well, there's liability at the gym for all kinds of exercises that are done.
Sure, but most of those are self-contained. Very few people are picking up a dumbbell and throwing it across the room.
I agree with that.
And with a discus, I mean, you got to get your rotations in. You have to build up your momentum in order to throw. That discus can fucking go anywhere if you didn't know what you were doing.
I mean, you have to think through having nets up or something, but that's okay.
So now we're adding to the cost of what's going on here for, again,
Well,
something
it's
that
not
no
going
one
to
is
be
going
done
to
free,
use.
but like people are going to use it, and like they'll say,
People
"Oh, that's
aren't
cool."
going to use it.
Oh, what are you going to work out today with? I'm going to go do field events today, and that'll be like your Monday workout is field events.
You would never do that. You can barely get to the treadmill.
I can do stuff.
You would go do that, would you? You'd go, can we film Cust does the decathlon?
Dude, I would pay, that would be the highest rated show on Mayo Media Network. Right, it would be amazing.
I think
Tim, if you do this, if you end up doing this, I'll give you a hint right now. As a former 8th grade discus champion, right here, Mr. Kenny Kim, 8th grade discus champion. A lot of people, when they don't know what they're doing and they spin the discus, they spin it counterclockwise. The way to get the actual distance that you need is to spin it clockwise.
Why does that make a difference?
Because the way that you're projecting your arm and like the actual like
okay,
you know, like the way your arm goes and the way it goes off your fingers, it flies farther when you sort of go in this rotation instead of this rotation.
Yes, and if you lived in Australia, you'd have to do it the other way than what Kenny is saying because of the Coriolis effect.
All right.
Last thing, I'm going to end with this because, Kenny, you're on the show. Cust, I don't know if you heard about this story. However, did you see that Geico had to pay out $5.2 million from a woman who contracted an STD from having sex in a car? It was covered under the auto policy of everything.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm sure my insurance company owes me a lot of money then, probably. Tim, what do you think about that? I don't know if you've heard my car story, but go ahead.
I haven't heard it. No, I think that is shocking. And I can't believe that Geico would in any way be responsible for that.
They found that they were responsible for it.
How? How are they liable?
They were ordered to pay it.
Yeah, no, I understand that they were ordered, but like, in what world could they have been found liable? Like, under what circumstances?
Well, this happened in Missouri, and that Geico must cover the injuries and losses from a disease after a 2014 incident in a Hyundai Genesis.
A Korean car?
The insurance giant's Geico must give more than $5 million to a woman who had sex with a motorist in his car and contracted a sexually transmitted disease. That's what they said in a Missouri appellate court. Yeah. That's
like saying, okay, well, then if you were to sleep with somebody at a Holiday Inn, then the hotel is on the hook for the disease that you contracted at the hotel. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
I agree with you, but this is like
I agree. But I would take that money because I don't know, Tim, if you heard my story.
I have not.
It's a story time with Kenny's story on the Fantasy Golf podcast.
Why don't you give the Cole's Notes version to Cust right now?
Okay, so I was at a strip club. I was able to take a stripper back to my car. Okay, yes, I paid money for her. Whatever, fuck y'all. That's what happened. And so the big thing is her big selling point was that she was a squirter.
Okay? Oh my goodness!
She was a squirter, and so I've heard about these type of women before in my life. I've seen clips on certain websites.
Oh my goodness!
Would that be a certain site where if you use someone else's computer and then all of a sudden there was just a random like Live Jasmine ad that was still up there, we knew what you were doing?
Exactly. One of those sites, right? And so we get to the car, right? We get to the backseat of the car. I take her to the, behind the dumpster at 7-Eleven behind the strip club. That's just what happened. And so we end up, doing whatever we need to do. And like, I get her excited with my little finger. Okay. And all of a sudden, quantities of liquid fly out of her nether area.
Oh my goodness.
Nether area. And they're literally like not like small little beads, like jet streams coming at me. And it's weird to me. Like I am dodging it like Neo. I'm doing the Neo dodging like all over, and it just keeps on coming and exactly coming. And it happens in my 4Runner that I just bought this past fall. It was about 2 weeks after I had bought the car. And after this excursion that I incurred, what I realized was the backseat of my car, I wouldn't want to sit back there ever again, basically.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
I mean, literally, like missing my head, splattering on the windshield. Just I'm Neo. I'm just trying to fly by and miss this. And like I said, I've seen this before in certain types of videos, but I'd never really believed that it was the truth. never really believed that this would occur. So to me, it was like a Bigfoot sighting. If you go back to the Fantasy Golf Degenerates podcast, look for the title Bigfoot sighting. You could hear this whole story. And so afterwards, my car, not the fresh smelling car it was. The back seat, all leather, not as crisp leather as it once was.
No. Oh my
and I would have loved my insurance company. I would have loved to claim this to my insurance company to fix the leather and everything on my car, but I didn't think it was possible. Maybe now it is.
Well, if you lived in Missouri, you might have a case.
I have no words.
Well, that seems like a good enough spot to end it. Fantasy Golf Degenerates Bigfoot sighting episode. If you want to hear Kenny's entire story, Kenny, I want to thank you today for coming on Cust Corner.
Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. He's got the hottest takes with the highest stakes. He should be president of the United States, but it's Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner.
All right, man. It's just been a pleasure. This has been like the highlight of my year. I've been wanting to be on this show with you and Tim for a while. It was great. I loved it. Hopefully, I didn't say anything too fucked up for me to not be on again.
I don't know. I think this is just the type of injection, Tim, that Cust Corner needed. I feel like we're getting drowned out by the same voices. I'm okay. I'm unlike you. I'm okay when people come on and disagree with me and agree with you, where it seems to trigger you.
Well, I mean, I thought it was a great injection, and it was lovely to have someone come on here who wasn't just disagreeing with me. I mean, look, Garion is great, Jeff is great, but they tend to see things in a more conventional way, perhaps, than Kenny does or I do. And so it was marvelous to hear another voice.
Look, I'm looking at me and you next to each other, Tim, and your face and my face, and you would not expect us to be in agreement so often, especially if you listen to my show and you listen to Tim. You would not expect that, but we are. We are brothers. I'm a fan, and hopefully we can do this again.
Yes, we don't agree on everything, but we certainly agree on some things, and it was great to have you on, and I was thoroughly happy for the agreement, and I thought, it added a flavor to the show, and it was nice for Patrick to have to experience multiple people disagreeing with his soft takes. So it was nice.
Well, Pat, I never said those are not my words. Just remember that. Okay?
No, they're mine. They're mine.
Mm-hmm. You can follow Kenny on Twitter at KendoVT. You can also follow him on the Fantasy Golf Degenerates podcast on Mayo Media Network. Highly recommend that you go check that out. You can follow me at the PME. You should sub to the Cust Corner audio feeds. And, of course, on Twitter, follow Tim at Tim Andercust.
Tim Andercust.
Not my name or my Twitter handle. Tim Anderson87. I bring the funny, and I do not bring curses. This has been a very uncursed year, as people have been noticing. And you can follow me there.
Kenny, would you agree that this has been an uncursed year so far?
You know, probably not, but close. I here's the thing. Like, anytime I hear Tim's one and done or something like that, I sort of go against it. But isn't he winning the one and done between you and Jeff right now?
Yes, we're just also terrible at making picks.
Tim, I got your back a little bit. All right, brother?
Thank you, Kenny. Much obliged.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Well, Kenny, didn't you benefit when your Washington Capitals won the Stanley Cup?
That was the best Andercust I would have to say I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
Tim, I remember that year you said you had nothing. You're rooting on the Caps. You'd bet on the Caps every year, and finally you gave up. And once you gave up, I got my chip. And that championship, the most meaningful championship that I've ever experienced as a sports fan, I have to thank you for that, because it was magnificent. That game, I think it was game 5 against Vegas. I knew we were going to win. All my friends wanted me to go out, meet them out, whatever bar, because that game was in Vegas. I knew I couldn't. I had to watch it at home, and I cried like a fucking baby when we finally fucking won. So thank you, Tim, about that.
Well, I'm happy that my misfortune was your fortune.
It was.
You're getting credit. You love credit.
No, not for this stuff.
Once again, smash like to the episode, sub to Mayo Media Network, and click on the Cust Corner tab to get all of the previous Cust Corners. Or if you want to listen to the audio version, check the description or just search Cust Corner on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever, and subscribe to the Cust Corner feed and leave a rating and review. As Kenny once did, one day you'll just discover the feed and you'll listen to them all and you'll be like, when's the next one coming out? And And, we do one every week of during football in mini versions, and then we create a best of. But I'm glad we got back to an actual Cust Corner. I know that people will like it. Please spread the word around of Cust Corner. That'll do it for us. I'm Pat Mayo. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Mayo experience! Experience!